Welcome again to the Old Principle. Today's lesson is number 165. And boy, doesn't that look strange? I wonder what that is. Well, it kind of looks like there are three different kinds of languages. So, today's lesson sounds like something you would study in university, right? The Rosetta Stone. Stone is 石板, okay? Rosetta. 这个 Rosetta 石板. And we're going to tell the story about this. Very interesting. In fact, in the next few lessons, we're going to have one or two stories very similar to this. Very interesting. So, before we begin, we've got to listen to the story. So stand by for the story.
Story 165, The Rosetta Stone. In 1798, the French general Napoleon Bonaparte marched into Egypt with an army of 38,000 men. He knew that many ancient buildings and monuments had been built there thousands of years ago, and scholars from all over the world wanted to know what they were. So he took along a group of men skilled in finding and interpreting things made long ago. A year later, one of these men was digging in the Nile River Delta region near the town of Rosetta. He found a strange-looking granite stone. It was nearly 4 feet tall, about 2.5 feet wide, and nearly a foot thick. One face of the stone was smooth and divided into 3 parts, one above the other, and ancient writings were inscribed upon each part. The lowest portion was written in Greek, which nearly every scholar could read. But the characters on the other 2 portions were strange, and no one knew what they meant. Nearly 20 years passed before any serious attempt was made to decipher the meaning of the 2 sections of unknown writing. A Frenchman named Champollion decided to try it. He worked on the theory that all 3 sections said the same thing. He could read the Greek part, but he found that proving the other 2 sections had the same meaning was not so easy. He labored on the project for 4 years, but he finally deciphered the mysterious writings on the stone, and scholars around the world rejoiced. One of the sections proved to be the ancient picture writing called hieroglyphics. The other section was a later form of picture writing known as Demotic. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone and the work of Champollion made history. They made it possible for students worldwide to read the thousands of inscriptions found upon monuments and tombs throughout Egypt.
Okay, now that we have looked at the story, we begin our lesson with the first sentence in 1798. We are talking about 200 years ago, right? More than 200 years ago. 1708, 法国的将军, okay, Napoleon Bonaparte, Napoleon, okay, Napoleon. What is his? Napoleon. We all know of Napoleon. He was actually called Napoleon Bonaparte. He marched into Egypt. Marching is boom, boom, boom. But we also use the word marching, meaning that his army moved into Egypt. So, how big was his army? His army was 38,000 people, 38,000个这个士兵. This is his army. So he's going to Egypt, Egypt. Going on. He knew that many ancient buildings and monuments had been built there thousands of years ago. Now it's interesting that here is a military man, 他是军队的 okay, 将军呢, but he was interested in history too. Ancient buildings, 古时代的建筑物, okay, and monuments, 纪念碑, okay, buildings, ancient buildings, monuments had been built there thousands of years before. So several thousands of years before. So we're talking about 3,000 and more years before. Going on. And scholars from all over the world wanted to know what they were. So many scholars around the world, they wanted to know, 想要知道 what these ancient buildings were, and wanted to know the 纪念碑, the monuments, or what they were. So many people were interested. In fact, going on. So he took along a group of men skilled in finding and interpreting things made from long ago. We call them archaeologists. 考古学家了. So he took a group of men skilled, 他们的技术, 他们的技巧, to finding, 可以找到这些呢, ancient buildings, ancient monuments, pottery, things like that, and interpreting, okay, 解释它的意思呢. But these are things made long ago. 很久很久以前所做的事情. Going on. A year later, one of these men was digging in the Nile River Delta. A year later, 过了一年, one of these men were digging in, 他在挖, 在什么地方挖什么, okay? And he was digging in the Nile River, 尼罗河. What is a delta? 三角洲啊, 三角洲. Delta. Okay? Actually comes from the Greek language delta, D, and it's 三角形的. Okay, and near the town of Rosetta. So what we have here is the Rosetta Stone. So he's digging in a town near a town named Rosetta. Going on. He found a strange-looking granite stone. Okay, granite 是一种石头. Granite 是一种石头. Okay, and this is 花岗岩. 花岗岩. I've never heard of it in Chinese before this lesson. But granite is white and has little tiny bits of black in it. So it's quite strong and it's good looking too. So he found a strange looking 样子是蛮怪怪的 granite stone. Going on. It was nearly 4 feet tall. Let's see, about 4 feet tall, about this tall. And what else? 2.5 feet wide. So 2.5 feet wide, and nearly a foot thick. Okay, it's almost as thick as this. Okay, just that thick, 它的厚度. Okay? Going on. One face of the stone was smooth and divided into 3 parts. So one face of the stone was smooth, 很滑, 很滑, very smooth. And it was divided into 3 parts, 分了3部分, part 1, part 2, part 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? And they were one above the other. Okay, you had one here, one here, one here. One above the other. And the ancient writings were inscribed on each part. So, what they had there now was ancient writings, 古代的语言 and 写在 or 刻在这个石板上. Okay? Inscribed. Okay? 刻在这个石板上每一部分. So you had 3 different languages. 3 different languages going on. The lowest portion, okay, was written in Greek. Greek would be the easiest language to understand because we have known the Greek 希腊文. In fact, I even studied 希腊文myself. I studied Greek maybe 6 or 7 years. Okay? And so they studied and they were able to understand the Greek. So that's the good news. Okay? 这个是最下面是 Greek. Okay? And nearly every scholar could read that. And I'm sure that 每一个学者都可以看得懂. Going on. But the characters on the other 2 portions were strange and no one knew what they meant. So the characters on the other portions, the middle one and the upper one, the characters, 这个字, nobody knew what they meant. 没有人知道他们的意思是什么. It just looked, well, we say in English, like gibberish, like 乱码. It didn't make any sense. So people wondered, well, what is this all about? Going on. Nearly 20 years passed before any serious attempt was made to decipher the meaning. Okay, so they took the 石板 with them, and it took 20 years before any serious attempt, 认真的要试一试, 解码, okay, to decipher the meaning, of the 2 sections. Okay, so you can understand the lowest one, but the middle one and the upper one, it's hard to understand. Okay, so it was 20 years. 才有人很认真的要去解码. Okay, and as far as they knew, they were unknown writings. Nobody knew what the writings were all about. So, going on. A Frenchman, okay, named Champollion decided to try it. So this is a Frenchman. Of course, it makes sense in a way that because Napoleon was the one who was in there, so the French people got this 石板, okay? Frenchman named Champollion 决定试一试这个解码。Going on, he worked on the theory that all three sections said the same thing. 他的理论，他的推测，他的思想 ，OK， 是每一段，当然我们有3段 ，right？ 中。Okay, he says all three probably 或许 it says the exact same thing. Okay, so he said, if so, then I should be able to figure it out. Okay, going on. He could read the Greek, of course. Everybody could read the Greek. So he read the Greek, but he found that proving the other 2 sections had the same meaning was not so easy. Okay, so now he had 他必须证明另外2段是有同一个意思。那这个不容易。In fact, he says he found that proving the other 2 sections had the same meaning was not so easy. It wasn't easy to 证明他们都是一样的意思的。Going on, he labored on the project for 4 years. How much is 4 years? That's a long, long time. I went to college. I went to university for 4 years. So he spent 4 years trying to understand what it said. He labored. That means he worked. Labor gives the idea 很努力的，很辛苦的。He labored on the project for 4年之久, for 4 years. Going on. But he finally deciphered. Remember what the word decipher means? 解码,解释。解码 the mysterious writings. 这个深奥的这个文字 OK 深奥的文字 the mysterious writings on the stone. And the scholars around the world rejoiced. 全球的学者欢喜快乐 rejoiced 欢喜快乐很高兴 They rejoiced. Everybody around the world rejoiced at this wonderful discovery. Now we know what the other writings are. So, what were the other writings? The other writings, well, going on, one of the sections proved to be ancient picture writing. Okay, 图画的写法 OK 或者图画文字 OK, and it was called hieroglyphics. Let's make sure I get this thing right. 象形文字象形文字 hieroglyphics. I actually had a teacher that could read hieroglyphics when I went to university. She didn't teach me hieroglyphics, but she could actually read this. One of the 有一段是象形文字 hieroglyphics. So, going on. The other section, 另外, remember, there are how many sections? There are 3 sections. Okay, the other section was a later form of picture writing known as demotic. Okay, also from IG, but not as early. It's a later form. Okay, it is 也是图画文字. So you writing pictures. Actually, Chinese characters. 这中国字也是 picture writing. 哇，最早期呀 okay, it was picture writing. In fact, even something simpler like 人, okay, a person, was originally, it was a person, had a head and so on. Then 慢慢地变成这个人字. Okay, so the 象形文字 was picture writing, 图画文字. And the other one was also 图画文字, but it was a later form. 可能是几百年或1000年之后是同一个图画. Of course, in 1,000 years, writing has changed. The writing has changed. And it was known as Demotic. Demotic. That's the name of the language. One was 象形, 这个文字. The other was Demotic. Going on. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone and the work of Champollion made history. Okay? The discovery, the 发现这个 Rosetta 这个石板 made history, 就造历史. It made history. It became a historical event, something that you could remember. It was something. Of course, it was about history, but finding it and deciphering it also made history. 这个变成历史的一个 event. Go ahead. It made it possible for students worldwide, okay, 使全球的一些 students, 这个学生，全球 worldwide 的学生 going ahead to read thousands of inscriptions found upon monuments and tombs throughout Egypt. Okay, just that one discovery, 这么一个发现，一个 Rosetta 石板，还有这个解码，用4年的解码，这使那些学者还有学生可以看得懂几千个纪念碑或这个一些这个文字的雕刻在some of them were actually written on the buildings. Okay, so they wrote on the buildings. And so throughout Egypt, 在全埃及有几千个这些了，慢慢的就可以看得懂the meaning. Of course, you know that, and this is quite interesting. What do you know about Egypt? What's that? Well, I don't know if it looks like it. 金字塔. Okay, so what is the 金字塔? It is a tomb. That's是坟墓. Okay, and so here is a tomb. And they were able to read these words. And then, as they read the words, they understood about the history. Okay, and in front of these tombs 有这个纪念碑，这个墓碑。Okay, now you say, 哎，老师 Okay, this is history. This is 这是古时代的事情，我对这个没兴趣。说实在，even I say, okay, that happened a long time ago. But I want to show you a book here. This is 基督教的圣经。For many years, 很多年，人家就说，哎呀，这个历史是不可靠。But what they discovered when they looked at the Rosetta Stone and they understood the Rosetta Stone, 慢慢的，他们就了解这个基督教的圣经的历史，哇，相当厉害，相当可靠。So then people started to believe, whoa, 不能小看这个。Well, and then of course there are many other interesting things about history, but for me, making the Bible real and trustworthy, 可相信的、信任的 was an important thing because I enjoy reading the Bible, I guess. That's the way it is. Okay, well now let's take a look on how you can write to us. Our email address is 我们的电邮的地址是 theoldprinciple@gmail.com， 或者呢，你也可以看我们的节目是在这个网站，这个网站是什么 www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, I've enjoyed spending the time with me. I hope you'll come back for the next lesson and bring a friend with you. Until then, have a good time enjoying English.